Good evening and welcome to another cigar review for StogieReview.com. I'm Nathan, the creator of An American Front Porch. Tonight we're going to be reviewing the Gisbert Maduro Robusto. I believe Walt did the same cigar back in '06. It's been a long time since this cigar was reviewed, and I don't have a whole lot of time. So I thought I would give this one a shot. And it is to my knowledge, it is obviously a Maduro cigar with a Mexican wrapper. That's what I saw in my limited research. Mexican wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and a mix of Honduran and Nicaraguan filler, although it is considered a Honduran cigar. That's the best of my knowledge. It's about a 48 ring gauge by 4.5 inches or so, I would say. That's probably not what it's marketed at, but that's my guess as I'm sitting here looking at it. So without any further ado, I thought I'd give the Gisbert Maduro Robusto a whirl here before I grill up some steaks and some stir fry inside before the wife gets home. So thought I'd go ahead and light her up. We're on my back. It's a perfect night for enjoying a cigar, and like I said, the wife is coming in from a class that she goes to, and I just thought that I'd
go ahead and do this review. I'm going to add a little extra fire. Didn't quite get it lit correctly. I'm getting some bits in my mouth of tobacco.
That should do it. Thought I'd share this with all of you. The ashtray that I'm using here on my back deck is an ashtray that my wife made for me when she was my girlfriend. So I figured she was a keeper if she actually will make a cigar ashtray for you with a Scottish thistle. It's my family heritage, and she left me a little message on the back, but I thought it was cool. Thought I'd share that with you guys. Good flavor notes off the front, although it's not, as far as Maduro goes, it's not full-bodied at all. Walt noted in his review a couple of years ago that this was a mild to medium at best, and it starts off that way. Obviously, we don't know where it's going to end up, but definitely it's not overpowering. It's kind of chocolatey, some distinct leather notes. It's doing what a Maduro should do, although it doesn't have the body of say, a stronger cigar. More full-bodied cigar. So we'll see where we go from here, but it's not bad so far. But it lit up evenly. You can see that the wrapper is very, very nice and consistent in color, although it's a little uneven. It's a little rough looking. I'll continue smoking this and be back in a bit to see where we are. So until then, this is the Gisbert Maduro Robusto box press, and we'll talk to you in a minute. Thanks. We're now about 3/4 of an inch into the Gisbert Robusto Maduro, and flavor hasn't really changed at all. It seems pretty consistent. The burn has stayed slightly uneven, but not bad. No major runners or anything like that. It's so far not remarkable. It's definitely so far worth what I paid for it. At my local shop here in Middle Tennessee, it will run you about $3, $3.50 for the Robusto. Maybe a little less. I'd say on average around $3 to $3.25. Not a bad smoke at all so far. I have a good friend, actually. The reason why I look to Gisbert, I have a good friend. He's an older gentleman. We call him the Colonel. He's an old World War II veteran. He buys these by the box about once a month, and smokes through those naturals all the time. Calls them Gisberts, and he's a good old boy. But he really enjoys his Gisbert naturals, in the Robusto, as he calls them. But I've tried the natural one time, and it was very, very mild. And so far, the Maduro seems to be following suit, although the flavor is very nice. The flavor still is a hint of dark cocoa, not really bitter. Walt, I believe, mentioned a bitterness to what he detected. I'm not really getting the bitterness. It's kind of sweet, with hints of, once again, hints of leather. It's still just kind of a moderate leathery cigar. So we'll continue on smoking here into the, we're going to finish up the, obviously we're not done with the first third yet, but we'll get on into this cigar and we'll be back in a little bit. Y'all have a good night. We're about to throw some meat on the grill. I'm now into the second third, the beginning of the second third of the Gisbert Robusto Maduro. Nothing's really changed very much. It doesn't seem like it's lining up to be a very complex cigar at all. In a typical aged Maduro cigar, you're going to get some changes in flavor, and so far it's still kind of that slightly sweet, very leathery cigar, although now, honestly, I'm getting a little bit of bitterness. And now I'm not very big on the more bitter cigars, but it's not overpowering. It's not distasteful. There's just a slight hint of spice. The ash is really nice. As you can see here, it's a nice white ash. It's held together well. I actually had to ash it earlier before I could show you, but the ash is pretty good, although the burn is not very even. It's burning somewhat unevenly. It's uneventful. But once again, it's a $3 cigar. So far it's lining up to be something very good for a beginner that wants to taste what a Maduro cigar tastes like. But we're going to continue on. We've got two filet mignon and two chicken breasts on the grill. And you really can't complain. Draw, by the way, is very good. Draw, by the way, is very good on the cigar. I cut just a slight guillotine cut. So we'll see what goes from there, and we'll talk to you soon. Before I ash this cigar, I wanted to kind of reiterate a point. The construction on these Gisbert Robustos are very, very good. It's very nice. It's holding together very well, and I hope that gives you a good example, a good idea of what the ash looks like. It's not flaky. It's pretty consistently white. Very nice. The flavor hasn't changed. This is rather unremarkable cigar flavor-wise. If you're looking for a complex, very intricate Maduro, I wouldn't really send you this way. Although, as I'm getting into the final portions of this cigar, I would say this would be good for for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it's a good utility smoke at the price. It's one to keep in your humidor to share with others. It's especially those who aren't necessarily as whose palates aren't quite used to a diversity of cigars. They don't smoke a lot of cigars. They're also a cigar that I would send to a beginner who wants to know what a Maduro's like, because the Maduro flavor is very nice, but it's not full-bodied and not very complex. It has not changed since it lit. If anything, it got a little more sour. Otherwise, good cigar, not great cigar. I would say I'm not, like I said, good but not great. So we're going to continue on. I'm working on cooking over here, and we'll finish up here in a moment. We're here in the final stages with this Gisbert Maduro, and it did what I don't want cigars to do. This is totally my opinion, but when you want a cigar to crescendo, you expect it to crescendo, come to its greatest moments towards the end of the cigar. It went grassy. It went hollow. I mean, this has been a weird night. I was looking back at the footage of the first section of this review, and for some reason my voice became possessed by the devil. So I'm talking like this at some point. So that's kind of weird. Then my half Westie, half parakeet dog starts chirping in the second one. So that was interesting, to say the least. And this cigar has been one of those cigars that get your hopes up, get your hopes up, stop. Get your hopes up, stop. And that's what this cigar did. Sadly, because it seemed like it was going to do pretty well. It's got a good flavor. But there's still hope for the Gisbert Maduro. It is not a cigar that I would not smoke again. Would I seek out the Gisbert Maduro? No. Would I smoke it if given one? Yes. Would I recommend it to a beginner smoker? Absolutely. 2 reasons. Number 1, the budget. Number 2, the body. It's one that someone who wants to know, what's a Maduro taste like? It tastes like this. And yet at the same time, it'll be just enough of a hint where they may come back and eventually smoke more fuller-bodied cigars. The smoke has been very good. The smoke itself has been very nice. It's just not what I'm looking for in a Maduro cigar. So I'd give it, out of 10 stars, I'd give it probably 5.5 or 6. But then there are some folks who would absolutely, love to smoke this cigar all the time. So that's my review. Kind of anticlimactic, I know. It's not going to change your life, but it's information, and information's golden. So, that being said, this has been my review of the Gisbert Maduro Robusto. Here's your label. And, like I said, give it a shot. Once again, these reviews are nothing but opinions anyway. Thanks to the guys at StogieReview.com for once again allowing me to submit my opinions to them and to you all. And also be sure to check out AnAmericanFrontPorch.com, and I'll be sure to give you something at least to chew on. And we'll see where we can go from there. Once again, this is Nathan. Thanks again for your time, whenever, wherever you are. Hope you're having a great night and a great day, and happy smoking.